Hey, what's up YouTube? I've been posting basics videos for a few years now, and I've never really gone over my pedal board or what gear I use, so I figured this would be a good opportunity to give you a quick rundown of what I'm working with. I've gone through like dozens of pedals over the years, and I think the state of the board is at a good point where I could show you what I have. So yeah, let's get into it. So first off, we have the JHS A/B selector. I could just quickly move from one input to another. I'll have like my bass plugged in, my guitar plugged in, and when I'm just looping stuff and jamming out, it's really convenient. And from there we have the first pedal on the board, which is a Keeley Compressor Plus. This one is really convenient when I'm just strumming up on the bass 6. It really brings everything together. And when I'm just jamming out, different instruments will have different volumes, so this really makes it easy. And it has the humbucker and the single coil selector. So up next on the board we have a Wampler Pantheon Overdrive. This pedal is actually a Blues Breaker clone. So back in high school when I first got into guitar playing, my buddy gave me his Marshall Blues Breaker, the big black box. And I really love the warm tones that it gave. It wasn't quite distortion, but it just gave it that nice crunch. And it broke, and I'd always been chasing that sound. Then they became really expensive, so I was kind of chasing that overdrive sound for years, and it never crossed my mind that it was because I was yearning for that Blues Breaker sound. So eventually stumbled upon this pedal here, and it's everything that I've been wanting from an overdrive pedal. I've gone through like the Nobles, the SD1, but this one really brings it all together. So it's really good when I just want some nice warm crunch. But what makes this pedal special is that it actually goes into different voicings and gain level. So it could get pretty heavy. So yeah, this is a great overdrive pedal. And from there, I just picked this one up recently. The good old classic Boss DS1 with the black. I think this is like a Guitar Center 2016 limited edition version. So a few weeks ago, I was doing a ton of research trying to figure out what sound Robert Smith of The Cure was using during the 1982 tour, and I stumbled upon this photo, and you could see here that he's using some sort of Boss pedal. Wasn't sure if it's SD1, but given the sound of his guitar at the time, it's got to be a DS1. So I haven't really had a distortion pedal on my board other than when I was younger, and I figured why not. I really like that it's black. So if I just ever need more of that loud crunch distortion, I could just turn to this. I don't know if I'm going to keep it on the board, but it's here for now. And I know not to turn it up past noon. That's when it gets really wonky. Yeah. So yeah, it gets a lot of hate. I can understand why, but I think it's a pretty good distortion pedal for the price. And from there, this is probably the oldest one I have here. We have the Boss Bass Course. This is the bass version of the CE2. And sadly, I used to have one of those, but I sold it. And I wasn't really playing guitar that much at the time, so I figured the bass version would be perfect for the bass 6. And it is. I mean, if you blind tested those two pedals, you probably wouldn't hear the difference. And what's really good about this one is that it has the effect level, so it's a really good course pedal, and I use it for my guitar, and it sounds really good for that as well. So from there, I have another recent pickup. It's the Ibanez AD9 analog delay. I used to have the Boss RE2, but I wanted more analog, so I was looking at the Boss DM2, and Those prices are pretty crazy for an original vintage one. So I went with the Ibanez Maxon one, which sounds really good in my opinion. Has those nice warm echoes, which I was craving after I sold that pedal. Highly recommended if you want that vintage sound for a good price. So up next I have the DD3 tap tempo version. This one is really good for just clean echoes. And the tap tempo really comes in handy when I'm just looping it and I just want to quickly change the tempo of it without having to dial it in. So compared to my analog delay, I kind of like use that as an always on pedal just to give it like ambience. And this one when I just want like some in your face echoes, it's really handy. Next up on the board I have the Neunaber Wet. Just a straightforward reverb, but it can go from being subtle to pretty drony and ambient. I was kind of after that cigarettes after sex sound after seeing a live stream of them, and I had to figure out how to get that sound, so thankfully there are photos of the guitarist's pedal board and I picked that one up. Yeah, it's a great reverb. I really enjoy it. So all my pedals run into this Bliss blooper. It's a really advanced looper pedal, but what I really enjoy about it is that you're able to change the speed of the loops, and it also has like a chromatic speed adjustment so that you could keep it in tune. So yeah, this is a really good looper pedal if you're looking for one that has a ton of functions and features on it. And lastly, this one isn't on the board because I'll have it on my desk and I can just adjust it on the fly. It's a Kinotone ribbons. Recently got this one after waiting quite a while to get the pre-order for it. And this is just a cassette emulation pedal. Probably the cleanest one out there in my opinion. I've had other ones in the past and the latency would really get to me, but this one is really good. I haven't really dove too deep into it because I just got it recently, but it has a ton of features on it. So yeah, that's the pedal board. Pretty straightforward, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you'd like to see me playing my bass 6 and guitar. So yeah, thanks for watching.